To start your day the Southern way with a little joke and pray. We're just Southern folks talking Southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down-home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just Southern folks talking Southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that Southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that Southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand?
Good morning, everybody out there in Southern Fried Podcast Land. Welcome to this Wednesday morning. I'm Rob, and that's Dave. We're here to start your day off right. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Ready to go. It's a great day to be alive on this hump day, Wednesday, as we broadcast live from the banks of the Southern Fried River, Studio A to Studio B, as it gently flows through the state of Georgia, emptying into parts of Florida we know not where. I have a funeral to attend today for my aunt, and spent yesterday evening with catching up with family at the funeral home. So we have that going on today, so pray for our family, especially her kids and siblings and grandkids and all that as they say goodbye.
We'll do it, sir. We will do it. Well, I got to show off something this morning, Dave.
What's that?
Okay.
I like it. I love it.
My brand new Southern Fried Podcast mug.
Looks great.
Won't
be long. We'll have some brand new Southern Fried coffee to go in that.
Yes.
We're working on it. We are researching and trying to find the best deal for us with a Patriot mobile phone sitting beside it, at least the service, whether you have their phone or not. Appreciate Barry. I know he made an order. He accidentally ordered something he didn't want. He said he got right back with them. I'm sure they'll cancel that out. Sometimes you put things in your little buggy, you don't realize it's in there. you end up paying.
It's like, that's not what I ordered.
I told him if they didn't, I'd take it. It was a hat. I said, man, I'm a hat guy. I'll take the hat. He said he would keep the hat. I said, no, man, let me buy it for him. But he bought some stuff. Appreciate him. I was, but we did have to move the racing show from last night because I was at the funeral home. It will air tonight. Me and Dean. James has to work, but me and James will be on Friday night for a sports show. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time. We'll be talking Georgia football, NFL draft, baseball, whatever. It's a sports show, so looking forward to that. Dave and James and whoever else wants to be a part. But we will be talking sports before Front Porch Talking goes on the air.
Well, how about our poor little Atlanta Braves? They fought their way up out of the cellar.
They've been
running about mid of the pack,
trying to win.
They're almost back to 500 baseball.
The little team that could. Well, that's just to get our hopes up.
Oh, come on now.
That's all.
They ain't got the same record as the Rockies.
I've been Atlanta Brave, Atlanta sports fan for a long time. It's always, with rare exceptions, and I mean very rare, it's always a ploy by the team to just get your hopes up before they dash them and rip your heart out late season.
Oh.
As they have the big fall. We're used to it now. It's not shocking to us. We expect it. It's the Atlanta way.
Well, they start off slow and they lose a bunch of games. Then they just come in, just drive and fight, and claw their way back to the top. Then they get to the top, it just die.
That's just the way it goes, bro. That's just the way we roll.
Yeah. You can hear them warming up if you listen closely already.
The only thing that, at least back in the 70s, when they lost, you had characters. You had Chief Nakahoma. Well, we can't do that anymore. That's culturally wrong. I mean, come on. I love Chief Nakahoma. You had Skip Carey, son of Harry. He was a nut and funny guy. You had the Professor Pete, who was great. You had all these different characters, and you had Ted Turner, Mr. Captain, outrageous or courageous or whatever they call him. He was always doing something dumb, funny, whatever. So I just, but then they got all corporate. The problem is that they're not owned, well, the Falcons are, but the Braves are owned by a investment place. Come on. I want an owner. I mean, I want somebody I can say, hey, you suck. The investment company, who do you talk to? I mean,
you don't.
Corporation. I want an owner like Arthur Blank. At least I can call him out. You spend a lot of money, but this is your last chance to redeem yourself, Arthur. This is it. You've made some good moves. You made some dumb moves, but we'll see. Keep your non-expertise out of the team, and let's see if they can do something with where they're headed. I kind of like what they're doing right now, but again, as an Atlanta sports fan, you're always on guard for the stab in the heart. It's coming. The dagger, the stake. I mean, it's all coming. So we just kind of expect it.
Yeah, and it's coming. We know it's coming. We can hear it coming.
Oh, yeah.
We hope it's not coming, but,
It's like the hillbilly train coming down the road. When you can hear it, it's about to fly apart. It's like the little train that could. I can do it. I think I can win. I might even win a championship. Oh, no, I can't. No. Train derailment.
Bridge collapse.
Yeah.
The entire train falls into the Flint River. Well, I'm sorry, up there it'd be the Chattahoochee. It falls off into the Chattahoochee River, sinks quickly to the bottom.
That's it.
Gets stuck in the mud and the muck at the bottom of the Chattahoochee River out to the lake. It's just sinking slowly into that lake muck at the bottom.
Oh. And then you hear those famous last words every year. It's always next year. The last gurgle, and before they go into the water.
Yeah, you see the little bubbles bubbling up to the top. You hear bloop, 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 bloop. And you hear, maybe next year.
Good morning, Brother James. Empty Pockets.
Good morning, Empty Pockets.
In the house. We hope you are well, sir. Hey, he's Ohio. He's used to that kind of crap, too. Although, there's always, Cleveland. Cleveland's done the same thing for a long time. They just got more legendary status, But Cleveland does the same thing. I don't know if he's a Cleveland fan, but, Cleveland does the same crap,
Oh.
Well,
we're talking about how the Braves and the Falcons toy with our emotions every single year. Oh, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And then they start off sucking and they start clawing their way back like, yes, show them, you show them. Then and then we hear those famous last words, well, there's always next year.
I just find it ironic. I find it completely ironic that the Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons were the two teams that were battling over Deshaun Watson and the $250 million contract. And Cleveland won out. And there were Atlanta fans that were mad about it. Just ready to quit the team over it. Like, oh my gosh, Cleveland's going to win championships now. And Cleveland fans are going, he sucks. What have we done to ourselves? James says he just does motorsports. Which ones, brother? I bet you like drag racing. John Force. Race at El Camino, brother.
It's the ugliest car in the world, driven by the most interesting man in the world.
Well, he worked on cars for a long, long time. He's an old grease mechanic. He knows that. He's got it all down. He's got that look like a guy who spent time under a hood, under a tranny. Oh, that didn't come out right.
Yeah, it did. He was already talking about drag racing.
Sorry, Jay.
Yeah.
Back when we didn't have to worry about such terms. Building a 56 Chevy sedan delivery gasser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
1956 Chevy. That thing's way older than I am. My goodness. Of course, I'm only 39, so.
I was talking to my niece last night. She's just 6. I have a way younger brother, and he's had a bunch of kids. The littlest one I've never even seen till last night because we just don't run. I just never around him. But she came up. She was talking to him. I said, "You remember me?" She said, "Yeah, you're David. I remember your picture." So I said, "Why don't you let's take a picture together." She's like, "Okay." She's all into that. I said, "You do it." I gave her the phone, and she was. I said, "I can't find that camera thing," and she finds it. She goes, "You can't see that button right there?" I said, "Well, yeah, I can now, but I'm old." I said, she took the picture, and I'll have to get it put up. But she said, I said, "How old are you?" She goes, "I'm 6." I said, "I'll be 6 too next week." She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, with a 0." She goes, "Oh, you mean 86 years old?"
Yeah, she got that nail on.
I said, "No." She was telling my sister she looked 66 or something like that. It was funny. Michael says we're talking about something he can relate to. Turning wrenches.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm going to have to do that. I've been hearing you talk about that. I wasn't exactly sure I haven't went over to that part yet. I'll have to do that, brother. Do that, man. The Empty Pockets Garage.
Yes. Well, that explains the name.
You give us an address, brother, to our email, and we'll send you one.
Oh, Lord. Dave.
What?
Dave. You got to be careful doing that now.
What?
You know, did Jake ever get his sticker?
I don't know if he did or not. All I can do is send it. It should be out there.
Oh.
But yeah, it should be there.
Oh, cool. Cool thing.
Yeah, just send us your address, brother. I'll take care.
Yes, it's your address. Get to you.
Yeah.
Oh, we know Dave's gonna be sending that one. I can't let one of these pretty SFP hats wind up in a El Camino. I guess it could, you know.
I love that new
It'd be
coffee
all
cup too, man. That turned out real good. I love that.
right.
That is absolutely killer.
There.
Love it.
I got some hats and shirts coming. I just haven't made it here yet.
We got lots of things in motion. We just gotta spinning plates, brother. Spinning plates. We're trying to get it all in motion.
Yeah.
We need to
We're trying to keep it all going at the same time and keep everything rocking and rolling.
Hey James, when does your the garage air usually? What day does that usually air? We'll put up a card on for you as well. We've been meaning to do that anyway for Killer Carl, you, Angry Conservative. We got to get cards made for all of y'all on the Rumble, and of course that was YouTube. Turning wrenches.
Turning wrenches.
Now, Michael, if you were to do a video of you turning those wrenches, just remember you can't use duct tape.
Yeah. He can use duct tape. Wait a minute, he's in Ohio. They probably don't have that much duct tape up there.
Well, both. I mean, we'll put up a card for both. But when does your garage show air on YouTube? Because we want to tell people what not or what day. Empty pockets. I like the name too. Are the pockets empty because there's a hole in the pocket and the money goes right through?
No, it's empty because he's been working on old cars, buying all them parts.
Well, sometimes you can have holes in your pockets too.
Yeah, that can work too.
Money goes both ways. Oh.
All right, so on Fox News this morning, they have this special or a nice report.
I got you, brother.
Says White House list, this is off Fox. White House lists dozens of hoaxes, quote, pushed by media critics in Trump's first 100 days. And I'd like to throw in a couple of these as we go along this morning. You know, I don't want to do them all, but, you know, I think there's a couple here that are worth mentioning.
I got you, brother.
It says, Representative Eric Swalwell, who is absolutely just choke on his own words there, just about everything that comes out of his mouth false. He claimed no president presided over more plane crashes during their first month in office as President Trump. Number one, because Trump has control in the cockpit. Number two, come to find out, then data from the Department of Transportation indicated that more plane crashes occurred during the first few weeks of then President Biden's term, as there were 55 aviation accidents in the U.S. between Biden's inauguration in January 21 and February 17th of compared to 35 during the same period for Trump. So, I mean, Trump actually cut that number by 40%. Thank you, President Trump. If it was his fault that there were more, then it should be his fault that he cut the number, right? You are correct, sir. I do not like Paul. I'm gonna let that stop for now because I'll don't worry. There's like 50 something of them. I have plenty of them. We'll just mix them in along. Do what? I hadn't heard that.
Well, the helicopter crash was issues with the pilot who ignored two different warnings to get out of the way.
Okay.
The co-pilot and the tower. They were at the wrong
altitude.
The wrong altitude, but also I think on the wrong flight path, and they needed to turn, and they didn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it just came out. That was just released. The black pilot drank the Kool-Aid she did on purpose, and you could see the helicopter. If you watch that video, you can see the altitude change. I mean, it's like it just makes sure. It's like, oh, we're not on the. I've got to change the flight path here. I got to make sure I hit the plane. Yeah, worked in the Biden administration. Was a person with problems, issues. Yeah, and they came out immediately defending her, which you knew she was guilty. As hardcore as they were coming out defending her, you knew it was bad. It's another bunch of crap, man.
You mean the fact that she worked in the Biden administration that sent some red warning flags up to some people to give her a mental competency test?
She had some other mental stuff going on too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but she worked in the Biden administration, right?
Yeah.
That should automatically, check her.
Yeah, you're right, brother. They were, instantaneously. The very night, they were in a full court press to defend her and clean up her stuff. Yeah, you knew it was bad. And they were trying to blame the dude, the guy that actually told her you need to move. They need you need to turn. They told you to turn. However he said it, wouldn't listen.
Wow.
Like a kamikaze, it's like a kamikaze mission, man. Just straight into the plane.
Either that, or she was like, "You don't need to mansplain no turn to me."
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. He probably thought he was mansplaining it to her, and
Shifting gears just a little bit, I covered it last night on the MAGA report. It's a nightly show, just a 1 hour show. Kind of catching the news today. So much going on. And I want to know why two things. Well, three things. First of all, I want to know why the Houthis are still able to breathe, that they can fire anything at our military. They should all be wiped off the face of the planet. I'll say it. I don't care. David the AM, right here. I said it. They threatened our military more than once. They fired on them. Why are they still breathing? Okay. Number two is how does they get anything anywhere near in the path of an aircraft carrier, the Truman? And number three, in the course of having to change course and everything, what Dumbo show do they have on the flight deck that lets a plane, a $80 million plane, go over the side down into the water? I mean, what in the world is going on with our Navy, Rob? What the heck? This is like carriers have now become They're able to get to them. The Houthis, man. We're not talking China, Russia. We're talking the freaking Houthis.
This is
How
completely
does this
asinine.
happen?
This is asinine. It's because it seems like the military's afraid to be a military.
Exactly.
They knew they were there. They ain't no doubt that they knew that they were there. Okay, you don't get that close to a carrier without them knowing about it. Okay,
I just don't
the
get it.
carrier's not sitting out there by itself, guys.
No.
It's part of a battle group. Okay, group. You have. I mean, this thing's the rings of defense. Number one, you have the planes off of the carrier. That's your first line of defense. Okay, they have range. They have weapons that can take out other planes. They have weapons that can take out ships. They have, they're fully capable of defending that carrier and that carrier group. Then you have fast attack subs, you have frigates, you have everything, come on. All the other ships that are inside this battle, it just makes rings and rings of defense around it. Then magically this Houthi ship gets right in front of it? I don't think so. Come on.
Something is bad wrong, and there needs to be a real review of what's going on with our carrier group. I mean, it's just the second time, and now we've lost a plane. I mean, what the heck?
Now, we don't know. What do we know about the plane? I didn't hear about that. What do we know about the plane that went over the side? Was there extenuating circumstances?
They took evasive maneuvers and it rolled over the side, dude.
Oh,
they were towing it into flight operations or something. It went over the side, dude. It's like a runaway grocery cart at the Walmart. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I would love to. What time do you go up? Just give me a time. Be glad to, brother. But yeah, I mean, how does that happen?
I mean, well, if you're dragging it, if you're pulling it in there, number one, it's not secured. It's being drugged into where they're going to drop it down inside. So then if you make a sudden change and you change course and you do it quickly and you don't let anybody know and you're having to do it instantaneously, if you've got that thing pulled out and around and you're pulling it there, you got that. It's a machine they used to, or car type thing they used to drive, pull it. And it's just not secured properly. And so then it can slide off. I mean, it's being moved. It's like dragging a trailer behind your car. That's how it can happen. But, if they let it in too close, and bad things happen when you do that. That's why you protect your carrier at all costs. That's your queen, dude.
That's what I was just fixing to say. It's the queen bee, and you do everything to protect that. To me, it's just a level of failure that's going on here. And our enemies who do have the power to hurt us, not the Houthis.
They're seeing that.
It just kills me to say that. This is the freaking Houthis, man. I mean, first of all, they're losers. They don't have a good name.
No.
I mean, they live in Houthiville. And why are we letting some little... I mean, it's like the little chicken, I mean, they're nothing. Why are these people still breathing? Like I said, why have they not been wiped off? I mean, I agree with what Michael said. He just quit worrying about what people say and dust these people off the face of the planet. That's how you punch these people. And it lets all the other wannabe Houthis know that if they do that, the warhead's going to be on the forehead and they're going to be in their version of paradise, which ain't paradise, but whatever. I agree.
Amen to that.
I absolutely agree.
They need
can't
to
allow these people to do this stuff.
They keep like throwing dirt clods at us. Here, let's throw a dirt clod at them. And that's the equivalent of what they're doing. They're chucking dirt clods. And what we need to do is chuck a cinder block back at them. Show them what real power and strength is.
Well, the president just announced, to that point, that it will happen. He's just increased the battle group. He's sending more resources in the area. I think there's fixing to be, what they call that, shock and awe many years ago. It's going to be Trump's version of that.
Good.
It won't be
Good.
called shock and awe. We'll have to come up with a new phrase.
It's going to be called crap your pants, goofies. And we're going to hear that bomb when it lands because it's going to sound like this.
Shook it. James would love to join you. I will be a few minutes after 7 because I'll be coming home from church, but I'll be glad to join you. I think you're on for an hour. I could join part of it. I'd be glad to, but we had to have a Sunday night service this week. Some Sunday nights we don't, but this Sunday night we do.
If Dave can't make it, I can. He said your guys, I guess, come out, all of us. I can make it on there a little early too. I don't know. If you're not able to be there at 7, I can get there. We can make it happen.
I'll just be a little part ways in the show. So, government mandated God go forever. Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Miss Elizabeth.
Salute to you.
Hello. Yes, absolutely. Salute. Thank you for covering for me Monday night. I appreciate it. I was not feeling good at all.
Hey, she wasn't covering for you. She was covering her own self.
I got you.
She has her own spot. It's not your spot. She's bringing the mama. She is the mama in the mama said. What are you talking about? Thank you, James. Bless you. We'd love to talk whatever the conversation may be. We could do that. I had a cousin last night. He was hearing about the podcast. I gave him a card. He goes, "Wow, that's great." He goes, "Well, you always did like to talk." I said, "I was shy. I didn't talk around the family much." I think he meant later on at family reunions and stuff I would talk. But when I was a kid, I didn't talk much. I kept my mouth shut.
That's the funny thing about it. Most people tell me, well, we don't hardly ever hear a word out of you. We have to get on the podcast to even hear you say anything.
I'd like to know who these people are.
Well, I think they're hard of hearing. And they may be completely imaginary. I've always been a yacker from a long line of yackers. You say they don't listen?
But you know what's funny is on the Killer Carl show, sometimes James will just listen for a while. They're rattling. And it's like E.F. Hutton. When he speaks, though, I mean, it's like the voice from above. I mean, he just storms in like Pat, and he just lays her down. I mean, it's like the scorched earth after he's done. Like, he's like sit and thought. And when he speaks, it's like flames are shooting off the microphone. He just tells it straight and hard. And then he goes back and sits for a minute. You might hear from him for 5 minutes. And then here he goes, boom! Brings it again. I love it. Oh. Matter of fact,
I think it's time for another one of these hoax things here from Trump's first 100 days. You ready for this one? So fake news, hoax, fake news, CNN attempted to fact check President Trump's claim that the Biden administration spent millions on making mice transgender, the administration said. While CNN journalist Deirdre McPhillips initially asserted that Trump falsely claimed that the Department of Government Efficiency identified $8 million that was spent on making mice transgender. CNN eventually corrected its claim. The White House list made it clear what Trump in the speech did not. The studies were meant to figure out how these treatments might affect the health of humans who take them, not for the purpose of making mice transgender. The fact check now reads, an earlier version of this item, incorrectly characterized as false, Trump's claim about federal money being spent for making mice transgender. The article has been updated with the context about the spending, which was for research studies on the potential human health impact of treatments used in gender affirming care. Oh, that's amazing.
Blame it on the cat.
That's right. That is right. You are right. They did. And
reload. My wife hates it. Tells us to
do a full stream, you'll get more viewers. Well, I was thinking about putting a pole in. I could wear my old man bikini swim trunks out there in the backyard and go swimming.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Just do it live. What? Yeah, in USA did show that they spent that money. That's funny. And see, it is. No, they didn't. Yes. They do not. They do not. And the bigger the lie, the more sensational, the better for them. And it's not just them. It's the general liberal mindset out there. Let's just tell. If we're going to tell one, let's tell a big one. They don't want to tell nothing that might even be believable. Most of the stuff they tell is so huge and so outrageous that that's their shock and awe campaign. Yeah, and what gets me is they incite their base so much with these lies and stuff. We're talking about the crap yourself in awe. That's what they do. I mean, they tell this great big stuff and get everybody worked up. And it's not even true. Don't get me started on them. It's off early. You'll put me on a soapbox talking about that. Knuckleheads out there lying and everything else.
What cracks me up with being careful here? Well, not really, because I don't care. But what would your dad or family have said if you had come to them and said, I think I'm a different gender and I need reassignment surgery? What would have happened? Seriously. Straight up.
Well, my granddaddy probably wouldn't let me back in his house.
They would end the discussion.
Yeah. Well, I came in one time wearing a clip-on earring. Okay, it was a great big. It was back in the 80s. It was one of the big black, rock and roll clip-on earrings. And I came walking in, and my granddaddy looked at it. He said, "Come here, boy." He said, "What's that right there?" And he reached up and he grabbed the end of it and he went like this. And he just, just slipped off my ear. And he looked at it and saw what it was, handed it back to me, said, "Be glad." He didn't yank that sucker right out if it had been a real one. He'd have fixed that. What do you think he would have done if I came in and said, "Oh, I'm a girl now"? Well, he probably would have snatched something else off.
You're right. You're right, Tarman and James. You're right. We know. My dad would have. What James said.
I'm gonna throw this out there. That might not be a good thing.
And my dad would have looked at my mom and he would have said, "And don't you open your mouth. I know he's your boy, but right now, he's going to be a man." He would have said it. I know my dad. There are so many
When
thoughts I have about the Houthis.
the lollipop kill.
I
Inch
mean,
pockets, Jack, you're right on this one. Most people only get their news from headlines. That's because, in this day and age, people are too lazy to read a news story. They're too lazy to. They don't want to get out there and dig none. They might find some truth. They might find some little kernels out there, and you have to dig through legacy media. And I include them all in that. In legacy media, you got to dig to find truth. If you want to find both sides of the story, you better dig, or they're just going to scream out and put something out that just glaringly says what they want it to say. Then they'll go back through and they'll explain it in their story. Ugh.
I love James's next comment. No one.
And ask Whoop. That's right.
And Michael, that's right. Hit him some more.
I think I've been trying to picture, and I heard a comedian talk about this years ago, and it's cracked me up ever since, especially now in this day and age. Can you imagine, just imagine for a second, a big burly lumberjack, great big beard and everything, going in the doctor and going, "Hey, doc, I think I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I want you to just cut my junk off and let's fix this." Yeah. This big burly. Can you imagine that?
Well, the fact that the Biden administration had these, I won't call them men, that were the way they looked and dressed that were in his administration. The biggest joke, the biggest embarrassment in American history.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable that we allowed that to happen.
And I was embarrassed as a citizen every time they got on stage or whatever and was in public. It embarrassed me as a citizen.
Sure. If someone like that had come to our door when I was growing up, my dad would have sent them packing and said, "You freak, don't ever come back here again."
Yeah.
Or you won't walk away. That's what he would have said.
Oh, yeah. China absolutely laughs at us.
Yeah, they're not putting up with it.
They don't even know which bathroom to use.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the systematic tearing down of a nation from the family nuclear unit out. Just education, through your work, through media.
The destruction of the nuclear family.
I mean, just everything about it is designed to destroy us as a strong nation.
Yeah, and everything that we can destroy that, I keep hearing, and I keep wondering, they talk about one of the ways that you can destroy a country is to control the media. And that is absolutely true. If you're a foreign entity and you want to go in and you want to cripple a country, you go after the media. You control the narrative. If you can control another country's narrative, you win. You can weaken them. You can bring them to their knees. And I wonder how much of this is from influence from China, Russia, and everything else. It's just throwing it out there and slowly but surely just eroding our values away. And then once you start that ball rolling, it gets easier and faster and everything else. That's something we definitely need to do is pray for our country. My goodness.
Well, there's this wonderful word that we grew up with, and we were taught it at the earliest age. and we still use the word, but there's a lack of the plurality of it. And that word was patriotism. Now, we throw around the word
Yeah.
patriot a lot, and I like the word. We are patriots. But
Yeah.
we used to have a lot of patriotism for the country. How many? I mean, there are some people still teaching their kids that to put their hand over the heart, salute old glory, love
Yeah.
America, sing the songs, know the history, at least generally, have a great
Yeah.
love of country. Nowadays, they're taught to hate this country, that we are the problem, that we are the racist, backward problem in the world. That's what kids are being taught, that we're the problem, that throughout history we're evil. That's what they're taught,
Yeah.
and we're losing patriotism in our country.
Yeah. Yeah, James, that's something that comes up a lot in my thoughts is, Democrats are spending, they do spend a lot of them. They spend a lot of time in China to learn how to correctly govern, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they've got their hands in their pockets,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they've been doing this throughout the world, is putting money in the right places to foster partnership, brainwash the people that America is bad, even more so than they think already, and must be defeated. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they keep playing that song, got a little change in my pocket, going jang-a-lang-a-lang. But it's a whole different context for it. I just, mm,
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, remember the first president to go to China? Remember the big talk about it? That's how they were a closed society. Nixon said he would
yeah,
go. There was a lot of people mad about that. Like, what are you doing? You know, it was a big deal. I remember that. I'm old enough to remember that being talked about in the news.
Ash, you're totally right on that. I'm going to agree with that one. America as a concept sounds good. Like example, Captain America is a symbol of hope and stuff. But America, the country, has got problems. It does. There's not a country out there that doesn't have problems. I think a lot of our problems are self-inflicted, or people being led astray, or falling for stuff that it's just silly to even think about. You know, we almost didn't hear nothing about racism for a long time. Then all of a sudden, it's an issue. Sexism. All of a sudden, it's an issue again. You know, and in the South keeps getting battered. You're a bunch of Trump supporters. It may be, but they also support the values that we support. But that doesn't make us racist. That doesn't make us bigots, and it sure enough doesn't make us Nazis, which is all
Yeah.
stuff that we've been accused of. And I'm going to tell you this: down here in South, and I'm in South. Wait, Dave's in South. I'm way down here in South. It's not like that, and we're tired of being called that and being accused of that. Sick of it. It's not true.
Good morning, Sugar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was over here just. Let me say this real quick. And I'm gonna put up a couple of comments that Sugar's in the house on Instagram side. I've said this a lot on the programs I do. I said it this morning. I love America. I don't apologize for nothing. I have no guilt about anything. Whatever things that went wrong was long ago. I'm not embarrassed to be a Southern white American. I'm not
No.
embarrassed for America. I don't apologize to the world for nothing. In fact, I don't care what the world has to say, and I don't care what the world's opinion is about me, America, the South. I could care less. They can stick it. I don't care. I absolutely do not care what the world thinks. It does not bother me one bit if they like us, make fun of us, or whatever. That's fine. But you know what? We don't have to come and help you. We don't. We don't have to support all of your little things that you want money for. We don't. We could cut that check up and not send it.
Yeah.
Sugar says,
Yes. Y'all do. Oh my gosh.
And the incident was the one back in, that was about 3 months ago, wasn't it? 4 months ago? 3 months ago? Where the helicopter was in a flight path with the plane coming into Reagan Airport
Yeah.
at night and went right into the side of the plane. Boom. Down into the water. The earliest reports that NTSB is releasing is that the pilot was in the wrong flight line, wrong altitude, was told to turn by the tower and the co-pilot, and didn't do it.
Everybody says, I'm a happy Southern man and never been racist.
Yeah, I'm happy every day. These kind of people, they live, it's like what Kevin Sorbo, the actor, said. The leftists wake up every day looking for a reason to be offended. Every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
And that is literally true. You know, it's the same thing with getting like, if you get somebody's pronouns wrong. Okay, look, if you're a man and you want to be called by female pronouns, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you're a dude, you want me to refer to you as she and her, fine. Let me know. But, you know, if you're up there and you're some dude, and you say, oh, well, whoa. And I say, hey, buddy, how you doing? You doing all right, sir? Whoa, hey, buddy. Now, look here. My pronouns are she and her. And he's sitting over there looking like a lumberjack with a beard and a flannel shirt and everything. And I'm confused. Oh, no, you're confused. You are a sir at that point. Okay? I'm just saying. I mean, and then you're going to jump up there on that little soapbox and go, oh, you got my pronouns wrong. Fight me. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
Don't you just feel sorry for these little workers, young workers that are working at the fast food joint or whatever, where these people attack them and start screaming at them? You know, you've offended me. How dare you? And they're trying their best to be nice, and they just wear them out. They just trash them.
Yeah.
Makes me sick.
Yes, they do. Ruh-roh. Oh.
Rob's biscuit box.
Ash, the Finboy's kind of cute though. You know, sometimes you can't tell them apart. I'm just saying. Sometimes you can't tell if it's male or female. Then they probably need to tell you. You know, that's their bit. Not good. Canada has lost their people. They're too weak. And I got a biscuit box.
I can tell Trump how to just deal with this yokel up there that got elected. He's making threats and everything to the president. Just close the border for a while. No goods, no transfer of people. Just close it. We don't take your goods. Your people are not allowed in America. Run your mouth now, and see who needs who. Will there be some products we might miss? Yeah, but we'll work around it. Go ahead, make our day. Let's close the border. Let's see how quick you like that. The same on the southern border. Mexico, run your mouth. We'll shut them Mexican truckers coming over delivering goods in America. We'll just shut that down. We'll stop that. Let's see who hurts worse.
Yeah. In fact, we could probably do that with the world.
Well, we should be making everything we need here. Why are we so dependent on the world? Again, it's those deals where they're using sweatshops, slave labor, whatever, and sending this stuff into America. So let's just,
because they don't care about their people.
Yeah, let's just clean it all up. Let's make it here in America.
You know, this is the funny thing to me. These other countries don't care a rat's behind about their citizens. They don't. Oh, go do forced labor with them. Go treat the children like this and all this other kind of stuff. Their governments don't care. You try to pull that junk here in America, oh my gosh. The crying, the wailing, the gnashing of teeth, as it should be, would never stop. But then these same people that would be screaming and crying so loud and gnashing their teeth are the same ones that want to tear us down. They think they have the right idea over there. My gosh.
I mean, look at all the
Wake
industries
up.
we lost, like
Yeah.
all the hosiery mills, socks, blue jeans, all
Yeah.
that stuff that we lost that went overseas.
Textiles in general.
Yeah, textiles.
Clothing. That's almost all gone out of the country.
And why would we believe any politician because they sit and allowed that to happen? In fact, they encouraged it. They were a part of the problem.
Yeah.
They were putting money in their pocket to make it happen. All these people lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Empty buildings.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, not just socks, but I mean, look at the entire. We used to make clothes here in the United States. We used to do that.
We did.
When was the last time you bought an item of clothing that said "Made in the USA"? If it didn't come from Mammoth Nation, it didn't say it. I just about guarantee that. Don't get me.
Back on the biscuit box. Yeah, there are a few things that has.
Yeah.
There is an attempt to get some things American made. There has been that, and yes, it is going to be more. Yes, because you're going to pay more to workers here for a fair wage.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. I am okay with it. I'll pay more for American made. I will.
Yeah.
These countries that are making this stuff, they hate our guts. They hate our guts.
So now are we indoctrinating our children and they're trying to teach us that our consumer-based economy is bad and all this stuff here. We got to do this and that, and we got to tear this country down. You know, I can't.
Yeah, they wanted our American blue jeans. They sure did. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this yesterday, the global supply chain.
Yes.
What I said is we have to get all the things we need, start getting those here. And I think that's what Trump is trying to do. It takes time.
Yeah.
But we have to get those things inside the country. And we should never, my gosh, never be relying on another country for the pharmaceuticals that are needed in this country, especially China. You're going to put the health and welfare of people that need their medications to a country that would love to see us destroyed. Really? Come on.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
And Ash, I'm gonna throw this here thought out there. Yeah. Yes, we are connected to a global economy. We are. And I got no problem with using these global supply chains to supplement some things that we might need. Okay? But to supplement. If we already have it here and we can make it here, we should be making it here. We should, like Dave was saying, something that is necessary. Like, our car parts and stuff like that. Okay. But we need to be making everything that is necessary for us to continue and to function as a country. Pharmaceuticals, our energy, our clothes, stuff like that. We need to have that going on here. We need to be making our own food and producing our own food. We shouldn't be reliant upon any other country for any of that. If you want to bring some in, that's fine. But, we need to be self-reliant. We should not rely upon the world for anything. This is a great country with a lot of resources. I'm not saying we can't get some resources from other countries, but my goodness.
I love this statement here. And it would hurt for a little while, but our grandchildren will benefit from it. It's called protecting what's yours. Before we go off there, I will say real quick, the great Van Halen back in the day, because this is a problem. They would set up shows and they would sell the official merchandise for Van Halen. Well, the manager that they had at the time and the roadie and a couple others, they would go down the selling line. There would always be those people that would try to come in and sell the knockoffs. Let me tell you, those people got beat down for trying to step on into their area
Yeah.
and make money off of their benefit. Just stealing is what it is. It's flat out stealing. They
Yeah.
took care of it, and he protected that brand. Why is America not protecting its brand? That's what's always frustrated me. Protect the
Yeah.
brand.
Well, kind of referring back to what Deepak was talking about here, James talking about, we used to make everything here, and it's going to hurt a little bit to get back to that, but our grandchildren will benefit from it. You know, when our grandparents were kids or younger, you know, they would go around and they would probably collect labels from foreign countries, you know, made in China, made in Japan, made in Taiwan, made wherever, India. And they were probably like, wow, this was made over here. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, and now you can't hardly find anything with a tag on it that says made in the U.S.
I get what you're saying, Ash. I do. That's the problem. This is exactly the heart of what I'm talking about. We're so tied into the global supply chain to our detriment. To our detriment. We are not able to, we've allowed ourselves to just be shafted. And it is going to hurt. Yes, it will hurt. We're not talking about practicality or economical. It's going to hurt. We've got to start moving back that way. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Yes, it's going to take years. You can still, as Rob said, you can still deal globally, but we don't need to box ourselves in a corner to where we are so dependent upon these that they can just shut the train down or whatever they want to do or make it unfair to us. That's been going on, and our leaders have allowed it to happen.
And you're saying too that will drive cost up, and yeah, that's true. But how many more jobs are we going to make rebuilding this infrastructure for these companies? You know, that's going to make jobs. It's going to create industry. It's going to make more jobs. I mean, just rebuilding them will do it. So,
all right, I want to get this one first. This is a great statement. A nation who manufactures nothing is nothing.
Yes. Yes. So,
great discussion this morning,
okay.
folks.
We're
great
trying
discussion.
Yeah, we're having good discussion this morning. This is fun. I want to get this up there. And are largely domestically produced, unlike goods, services, they often rely on human capital and expertise rather than raw materials, making them less dependent on global supply chains. While the U.S. still imports physical goods, it exports a vast amount of services, helping balance trade deficits. Okay. When you're approaching this one, you have to. I mean, entertainment. We okay. We do a lot of technology, finance, healthcare, entertainment, and our education system is garbage. So I don't think you can rightly throw education in there. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of this. Technology, we get a lot of our technology from overseas. We don't actually produce a whole heap of technology in this country. We do some. Finance, the way that we're in debt as a nation, how many $1 trillion are we in debt, David?
34, 35, something like that.
Trillion in debt. We're not helping with finance. Healthcare, it's kind of laughable. I mean, yeah, we've got some of the best in the world, but I mean, come on. It's so a lot of this I don't agree with on that. 36 trillion. Yeah, we're not helping in finance. All right,
and that's true. And some of those have went back and hurt us.
Yeah.
They use it against us. To be honest, some, not all, some.
Okay. So you're calling universities like Harvard, MIT, and Stanford attract students worldwide, exporting educational services. All right, these are some of the same countries that are out to hurt us. I mean, look at they don't even the anti-Semitism and everything else that they have promoted. They've kind of dropped off the radar quite a bit. You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff is just crazy. I don't. They may attract a lot of students, but it's all because of the name. It's not because of the substance of what they're teaching. It's more like, oh, we got to have that name on my diploma, and that's my opinion. It's my opinion, Ash. Okay, and these are what I'm saying. When I say something, that's my opinion. You're welcome to yours, and we can talk about it. All right, so don't feel like I'm trying to shut you down. These are my opinions. You're expressing yours. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm ever trying to shut them down.
You remember that when I'm talking about crumpling your biscuit. Just remember what you just said.
But I'm dead right on the biscuit crump.
Yeah, I wish I had more time. I wish we had time to continue the discussion. I do have to go. Y'all don't, but I do.
Hey, Ash. Ash, let me ask you a question. Are you going to be back on tonight?
I'd love to have Ash come back on.
Come back on tonight, and you too, James. Y'all jump back in here tonight, and let's continue this discussion tonight. We're over our time. Dave has to go to work during the kids' school. But we could continue this conversation tonight. So, Ash, right now you're on Hollywood leads the global film and TV industry, and U.S. companies like Netflix and Disney dominate streaming and media. Okay.
Truth.
We'll come back on that, and we'll cover on that tonight. Empty Pockets, please come back. We're back on tonight for Hump Day Views at 8 o'clock.
And we will have special guests. Yes,
Yeah.
we'll send you a link.
Yes. And Ash, come on. Yeah, we'd love to have you back on, okay? And
hey, James, email us at our email so I can make sure that I've got your email.
And Ash, if you want to pop in on that tonight, to talk and respond back, that's fine too. We'll send you a link as well. And we're going to have the special guest tonight too. But
yes, James,
that'll be all right. I think this will be just
Southern
fine.
Fried Podcast at yahoo.com. Southern Fried Podcast. There it is right there. Just send us an email so we got it. We'll bring you up, brother.
So Ash, please join us again tonight. We want you back, and we'll continue this thing. And it's not, look, Ash, we're not picking on you or your views.
No.
You're entitled to those. We're just discussing.
And pray for my family today. My aunt passed away. We do have the funeral today. I'm just going into work for a little bit, then I'm going to a funeral. So keep my family in your thoughts and prayers. I know they would appreciate that. If you pray, pray them. And we would appreciate being in that. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys. We will see y'all tonight. We're running late, so let me get this show on the road here. Can't let Dave be late to work. Y'all have a great day, and God bless you, and salute.
Early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm. Let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to MAGA minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things, front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hump Day News, we keep it real with down home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our